children's legs to pull out parasitic worms, those greedy bastards.
That's kind of selfish, don't you think?
Yeah, extremely. I mean, obviously, they should just, start having children specifically to farm these worms.
I'm sure someone
I,
has suggested that and not
probably.
even been joking.
It's probably Nabisco. Well, Nestle, actually.
Wait, what? Why?
Oh, Nestle just has a really bad track record of bad decisions when it comes to, Africa and, humans living because of their actions.
Crap, creeper.
Like, you heard about the big, problem with them and baby formula, didn't you?
I don't remember.
They decided that in order to help out, they would give, baby formula to, mothers who had just had children because it would be easier on their bodies to nurse them that way. Now, the problem is, the baby formula they gave them was dehydrated. So, it required
And
to
there's
be
no
mixed.
fresh water.
Yeah, it's all contaminated groundwater. All mixed with, shit and piss. The second problem is, when people realized this had happened, they pretty much stopped instantly feeding the babies the formula. The other problem is, of course, that once you have a baby on formula, it's nearly impossible to get them back on breast milk.
Yeah.
So they killed a couple thousand babies, I think, actually. And then basically, whenever anyone pointed this out to them, their response was, Which, I do view as a fair response. Like, okay, whatever. It's not like we contaminated the groundwater. What the fuck do you want us to do? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you're responsible. Because they even had they had people warn them about it in advance.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people. So it's not like they didn't know. They went, no, it's good PR. Go for it.
So I guess there was nothing interesting over here.
Nah.
Then why not come over here?
There's a single emerald.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
This sure is full of lava, though.
Yeah.
If we had some water buckets...
Yeah, we would be fucking set.
But we don't even have a water source right now.
No, I do, however, have, 30-some-odd iron cooking in this furnace.
Okay.
So if we need any buckets...
I've got 6 diamonds.
Oh, that good. That goods?
Yeah.
Yes. God damn it. Alright. Let me put away... Okay. 34 iron. Pitching. I'm just gonna pick a direction and dig in it for a bit.
Okay, now I have 1 diamond and a really good sword.
Say, I'm amazed you didn't go for the pick.
Well, I mean, you only need a diamond pick for obsidian, and we don't have any obsidian.
True.
Also, what we don't have is a memory of the way out of here.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I think I can find us the way out of here.
We're doomed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're fucked. Completely. But I think I still know the way out of here anyway.
And I'm out of torches.
I've got
Wood.
45. That's not it.
Torch!
Torchic. I think after I'm done with another Century episode R, I'm probably going to pick up another Pokemon game to play. Just to tone down on the robots for a while. I mean, I enjoyed the games I've been playing. But still, I've been playing robot games pretty much non-stop for a while. Or at least, for flail-throughs. Though Rob did, of course, get a copy of Gundam Crossfire.
That's right, he did. I'm looking forward to hearing about that.
Well, he's going to review it for Bad Video
I
Game
know.
Day, and then after that, I'm going to...
The fun part was I actually suggested that to him independently before I knew he bought it.
Yeah.
Because it's just so perfect.
Yeah. I just found 8 diamonds.
I wonder if I hit you with a sword, if my wolves will come down here and bite you.
If they're... Yeah, there's actually a chance that you will. Of course, I will just run for the lava and jump in at that point. Because I'm a spoiled sport.
Yeah, but if you did that, all your stuff would burn up, including the diamonds.
Yes. Because I am also a horrible... Yeah, I'm a horrible sport. I'm going to make myself a diamond sword. Apparently, I'm trying to make a diamond Jesus sword because it's got a cross at the end. So, no. That's not how you do that.
Iron ingots.
Yeah. Alright. I've got surf. I've got a diamond sword. I've got rhythm.
No, you don't.
Music. Actually, I do. That's the amusing part, because Angel does not. At all. And it annoys the hell out of her that I have more of a sense of rhythm. Like, amusing hissy fits sometimes.
I never hit a sense of rhythm.
I drummed in my friend's band for like 4 years. I had to develop one.
Well, wouldn't you need the sense of rhythm before you start drumming?
Not if you're in a garage band when you're teenagers. You just pretty much grab whatever you have.
How come you're not taking out any redstone?
Because at the time, before I did some stuff, my inventory is just completely packed.
Oh.
But, no, when you're in a garage band, you pretty much do what the fuck you want. And just hope that it sounds good in the end. It didn't. Well, I mean, my friend did. He was one of those annoying musical prodigies. I've mentioned him several times, but yeah, it's just one of those, wow, you can play any instrument you have picked up, you know, just immediately upon picking it up. I fucking hate you.
And see, even if I could understand, well, if I could learn to play an instrument, which I don't think I could anyway, even at that point, I don't understand music enough to be able to, like, play music. You know, I could learn to read sheet music and perform what's on there, but, you know, it would be mechanical reproduction, basically.
See, I
don't feel music.
I do. I actually, for a very long time there, I was convinced I needed music in order to be alive.
Uh-huh.
Like, I just, anytime anything was going on, it's like, music. It's time for music.
I mean, I play music in the background when I'm doing stuff, but that's mostly for, you know, noise.
I always listen to whatever it is I'm playing and listen to the point where it distracts me from all other things most of the time. And like I don't remember half of the stuff I used to know about music theory. I don't even remember a quarter of the stuff I used to know about music theory anymore. But I remember driving around or walking around with an ex of mine, and a song came on, and I just started fucking ranting about arpeggiated solos and how it was the laziest form of rock and roll there was, because all you had to do was, you know, I can't even remember it all, but they were just staring at me, and the end was like, no one cares. Like, oh. Because or, you know, someone who has played where, oh god, is what, also where someone is playing the, verse or the chorus, but they're picking it instead of strumming chords. That's one of the other things that I just hated, and it's why, when Angel and I started dating, we had quite a few arguments. Because at the time, she liked Nickelback.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, she has now cut it down to a couple of their songs that she likes, which...
Isn't Nickelback a guy, not a group?
No, it's a group, I think. I never cared to look it up. Or to know about them. But, I played them, or played her, the, famous thing, which is two of Nickelback's songs played directly over top of each other. And it is the same song, but with different lyrics, exactly even, like, the drum build up and
there's a Japanese equivalent of that, too. It's called TM Revolution.
Really?
Uh-huh. Ask Rob about it sometime.
That was, also an amusing one. My friend Derek, who is also a music nut. He went to Japan for like a month or so on his class trip or on a class trip, and basically he ended up picking up a bunch of Japanese like rock CDs because he wanted to see what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
Because keep in mind, this was in like 93 or 94.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, sorry about that. 96 or 97.
Okay.
So it was still early enough into the internet, you could not actually find a lot of J-pop or J-rock or anything like that. And he was listening to them on the train, and he was like, wait a minute, I know this song. And he pulled out, I think it was a Violent Femmes or a Soundgarden or something CD, and realized that it was the exact same song, just with, Japanese lyrics. Like, exactly the same. And he was like, motherfucker, this is, they stole this. And he started getting angry at it. Then he was like, no one's ever going to hear these people. At least not in the U.S. In Japan, the market will be, like 50 or 60,000 people will buy this CD. It'll be considered a big hit, and then they're going to disappear in anonymity a week later. And, that's basically what happened, because he tried to look them up later to see if they still existed, and there's no information anywhere. And he was even using, like, the Japanese Google and looking it up to see if he could find anything about them. He was like, it's like they don't exist.
Pretty much.
And that was apparently the time he had the most depressing moment in his life in his trip to Japan. Which, alright, so they assumed that if you were at a bar, you were legal drinking age. They didn't bother carding anyone.
Uh-huh.
So their teacher, who, keep in mind, this is a woman who has, since she met my friend and his friend, tried to find ways to see his penis.
Classy.
Like, whatever way she could. She was absolutely convinced, for no reason whatsoever, that he probably had a giant dick and she wanted to see it. It wasn't even a sexual thing. She just wanted to see it. And he was, no, never. Because as he pointed out, it's not like, hey, yes, hot Japanese teacher. It was like, no, 74-year-old woman. Not hot, not fantasy. Reality horrifying. But,
That's terrible.
She had taken them all out, or all of her, like, 17-year-old students out to a bar to get hammered.
As you do.
And she's still a teacher at the local college or high school or whatever it is, too. So they're all drinking, and it ends up with my friend Eric, I think, in a drinking contest with the Japanese bartender. And somehow he won. With the bartender essentially quitting and going to sleep. Or, because it was one of those weird places where it's basically a private bar the size of a closet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very nice. The atmosphere is good. There's good music. There's karaoke. And the other thing that was going on was there was a very nice, like, 34-year-old Japanese woman there. And her 16-year-old daughter. And they decided that regardless of what anyone else said, he was going home with them that evening. So it ended up with a tugging match between him, or between the woman and her daughter, and the teacher outside of a subway station in Sapporo, where they're trying to pull him back on the train to take him home with them, because they were not even being subtle that there was going to be a lot of sex. And his teacher going, no, you're my responsibility. This would be the second time a student got someone pregnant. No. And he was basically going, I've got a girlfriend at home. I can't. I'm sorry. Which was the first part of the saddest moment for that story. The second part of the saddest moment was when he got home and found out that his girlfriend had cheated on him and broken up with him while he was away, the day before that happened.
Well.
He apparently put his fist through her locker at school the next day,
Well, I mean, obviously.
which is a fair response.
Obviously.
But, he said that he felt very proud of himself, though, because he stuck by his guns even in that situation. And, of course, recovering from the hangover the next day, oh, I'll have to tell you about Walter.
Walter?
All right. So, Walter
That's
is
gotta
a
be one of my
big...
episode titles, by the way.
Yeah,
Walter?
Walter with a question mark?
Walter, ... question mark.
Walter is a big man, or was a big man. Walter probably weighed about 450, 475.
Uh-huh.
Walter sweated constantly. He was completely bald.
Uh-huh.
Walter was very obviously a completely unashamed pedophile.
Oh.
Now, at first, everyone thought that this was kind of amusing. Because, it's not that big a deal. Apparently, the teacher insisted that even in this modern day in Japan, it's pretty much accepted as something normal. And they're like, okay, well, whatever. It's not like he's going to be fucking little kids while we're here. Which actually wasn't why he was there, so he wasn't.
Okay.
But Walter had this problem where he would be eating constantly. So, and he would just eat everything, everywhere, and then he would sweat, and it would smell exactly like it. Like whatever he had been eating recently.
Uh-huh.
But, anyway, they're sitting in a restaurant, and Walter is eating, or it's like a Japanese McDonald's. Apparently the food there was way better than anything in the U.S.
They have teriyaki chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
I know.
But, they're
it's
sitting
bad
there...
when you want to go to Japan just for the fast food.
Oh, yeah. But they're sitting there eating, and Walter is eating his, 4 or 5 burgers.
Mm-hmm.
When all of a sudden, this Japanese family walks in with their probably about 6-year-old daughter.
Uh-huh.
And Walter just forgets that he is eating food. And has, homed in on this. Or on this child. And is just staring. And occasionally he will lift the burger and, just take a bite out of it absent-mindedly.
Mm-hmm.
My friend looked at him, that's a good burger, is it, Walter? Because of how he is sweating at that point. He has gone full-on horrible stereotype pedo mode.
Right.
And he's just staring at this small girl sweating. He's like, it's a fucking amazing burger. Like, really? It's great? And he's like, it's the best fucking burger I've ever had. And he just sits there doing that for 4 more burgers. Now, the way that what eventually happened to Walter, was they were sitting around showing off, because I think it was the 3rd day of the trip. And they were at a hot spring or something.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone had just gone to bathe, and Eric was laying out his clothing and stuff for the next day. And Walter walks in. He has not showered yet. Walter always needs to shower, but he has not showered yet. And he is only wearing a towel.
I bet that didn't help a lot.
No. He goes to sit down on Eric's only set of clean clothing.
Of course he does.
Eric jumps up and kicks Walter so hard he flies through the door to the room. What the fuck? I don't want your sweaty ass pedo balls on my clothing, Walter. Get the fuck out. No one likes you and you're a creepy son of a bitch. Just screaming at this man in the hotel in Japan. And it's not exactly a good thing to do. But it ended up with basically everyone, because there were 30 people there, everyone going, yeah, Walter, no one likes you. You're a creepy son of a bitch, Walter. Go away. The teacher, you shouldn't talk to him like that. He's a pedophile. Even if he's not fucking little children while we're here, or even if he's never fucked little children, he's a pedophile. I don't think I have to respect him when he's not even trying to hide that. Yeah, and it just, went downhill from there.
There's a lot of emerald around here
Yeah,
that
I've
just
got
fell in a
2.
hole.
Oops. That was also the same, the same trip they met Taka of Nut.
Oh!
I don't know if I told you that one either.
You talked about it in a video you did once, so I am
Yeah.
familiar with the story.
Yeah, but Taka fucking hated Japan. He was born in Japan, raised in Japan. He's what people, I suppose, at this point in time would call a Yankee. That Japanese subculture. But he tried so hard to speak English. Just tried his, little heart out to speak English. Yeah, fuck Japan! Fuck Japan! Fuck, basically any racial slur he could think of for Japanese people, none of which I'm trying to say because I don't want someone to take it wrong.
That's fine.
Yeah, but fuck Japan, fuck blah blah blah. Long live Yankee America, blah 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 blah, and it was comedically bad. But as I said, the top moment of meeting Taka was when he was seeing them off at the subway station. He yelled, "Hey!" They all turned around. He was standing, balanced on a railing, 2 stories up, just standing on it, pointing at his crotch and yelled, "Suck my balls!" and then ran away. But, years later, my friend Eric got a letter from him, which was basically, he was planning to come to America to go to school, and he was planning to fucking stay when he got there. But, the letter was signed from Taka of Nut.
Mm-hmm.
And there's never any explanation for it, because unfortunately my friend never got to see him when he was in town. But, that was also the one... He actually has a video recording of most of the trip because he and his friends just decided to record everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one of their friend who apparently just, he's a huge black guy, which apparently made him a center of attention pretty much constantly in Japan.
Well, as you might expect.
Yeah. But apparently... He was the only person there because their teacher would just wander off and leave them to their own devices throughout most of the day. He could instantly fucking identify subway and bus routes just by looking at the map. And they spent the whole day drinking. So from the start of the day, he starts out referring to himself as their African guide. And by the end of the day, he is referring to himself as their African princess. And, this is something that they have hidden from him because he does not remember that day at all. But, and everyone's like, no, we can't ever call him this to his face because what if he remembers? What if he remembers? It'll completely ruin the joke. So yes, he's like, every now and then one of them will, blurt out something about, an African princess, and I'm like, I don't get it. But, yeah, he was their African princess by the end of the day, by his own words. And, that was probably one of the highlights of that, hearing my friends. Just, I ended up hanging out with him and a bunch of his friends who were in that tour group.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all recounting the story, played the video. Well, what did you buy while you were there? Because, if I were in Japan, I'd buy all sorts of shit and all them. Porn. It's like, yeah, me too. I would buy that if I was there.
Someone I used to know on IRC in the Navy, the porn thing reminded me of it, was talking about one time when his ship was docked in Japan. And one of the sailors who was there for the first time came back to the ship with all of this, underage porn. Not realizing that, because he could buy it in Japan, he would not get in trouble for it, bringing it onto the ship or bringing it home eventually.
The ship is U.S. territory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he just didn't realize, apparently.
Apparently not. But it's just like, how could you not? I mean, why would you? That's
Yeah,
not
why?
something that you reveal to other people, for
Nope,
one
that is
thing.
something. Yeah, no.
Especially when those
No.
other people tend to be armed.
Yeah, and especially if any of them have children at home, they might not like this information.
And, said IRC person did have a son at home at the time, too, so... I mean,
Well,
it wasn't that kind of thing, but
no, he
it was
just
not
thought it.
legal by U.S. standards in any case.
Yeah. Well, it's the one thing I had a long talk with someone recently trying to explain to them, U.S. pornography laws are different than the age of consent in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, for example, what is the age of consent? Like, 18. No. The age of consent in most states is 15 to 16.
Actually, that's not true anymore.
It still is in Maryland and all of the surrounding states.
There are a few states where 16 is the age of consent, but most of them are 18 now.
Well, yeah. But, that was because someone was trying to convince me someone they knew got arrested for sleeping with for statutory rape. And I'm like, how old were they? 17. I'm like, no, they didn't. Not in this state. There was something else going on there. I don't know. The girls, I don't know what it was, but my guess is he did something stupid and she got the cops on him. Because they'd been coming out for like 6 or 8 months, so she probably got angry at him.
Mm-hmm.
She was the type of person to do that. But yeah, that was just,
I hear skeletons.
I'm trying to find the damn way out. But,
well, I know where the exit is, but...
I'm just gonna head, in the southerly direction.
Ran out of torches again. I guess that means I should come back.
Yeah, but in Maryland, it is definitely, the age of consent is definitely, 16, or at least was at the time of my last checking. I mean, it might have changed, but that was ages ago, and I don't care because, of course, I'm not interested in people that young.
Yeah.
A, I'm in a relationship, and B, I've never liked younger women. I mean, it's, I did not get along with them when I was a teenager. Why would I get along with them now?
So I say I'm coming back, and here I am instead collecting a bunch of redstone.
Oh, there's that. That's one of the things that Angel and I occasionally have conversations about, because like, well, you've got, girls you talk to. I'm like, and? No, they're my, if I talk to them, it's because they're my friends. And she's not really, she doesn't flip out like a standard girl does.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, all right, if you say so, I trust you. Like, yeah, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of it. Mostly it's, yes, but all of she insists all of her friends are prettier, or all of the female friends I have are prettier than her. Like, but I'm not dating them. I mean, what do you want out of me? I'm a simple creature. I can only do one thing at a time. I'm dating you. That's it. I can't keep track of multiple relationships. I'm not that bright.
I mean, if all else fails, rely on stupidity to be your escape.
It works. Because most of the time I have done nothing or I don't realize I've done something. And it's just a why. That hurt puppy look works so well. I can make myself cry if I get in trouble.
That's a useful talent.
I don't mind, like, looking like less of a man. I don't care.
Well, honestly, Jay, how could you look like less of a man?
I could wear a dress. I have one around here somewhere. It was a Halloween costume.
It might suit you.
Probably.
I remember when I worked at Walmart, I found melon seeds.
Ah.
That wasn't the story. No, when I worked at Walmart for Halloween one year, one of the guys in the optical department dressed up as a little girl. But what made that notable was his huge, thick beard that he always wore.
Yes,
and, of course, didn't shave off just for a costume.
Why would he?
No, I don't know.
Would ruin the costume.
Exactly. Okay, so while I know where the exit to the mine is, I don't know where the exit to the mine shaft is. So that might be a problem.
I might be finding my way back to the right place. I'm not sure.
Like, I
Nope, I
got
just
things
walked in a
marked on the
circle.
map, but there's the problem of I don't know how to get to them from where I am.
Yeah, I don't even know where I am anymore. I'm pretty sure I'm caught in a donut.
I might be too low. I might need to go up somewhere.
Oh, man. No, but I've been very lucky in many respects with Angel because she accepts an honest apology when I give it.
Well, that's good.
Because I have dated quite a number of women where when I say something like an honest, heartfelt apology because I have done something that seriously upset or wronged them in some way,
Hmm.
apparently that is not good enough because I obviously don't actually mean it.
Right.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's one of those things of, all right, well, this is a warning sign.
Pretty much.
Or my favorite thing is, being told they don't want to hear any excuses for why I didn't do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, how about reasons? Because what you asked me to do was actually impossible for me to do. So, that is the reason I didn't do it. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Like, when I was, dating an ex of mine, there was one event that did not go well where I didn't have the time to clean the dishes for, 3 days. I literally had no time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because A, I was completely exhausted, and B, I was completely exhausted and taking care of her kid.
Mm-hmm.
And, alright, I know she was working. She had it hard too, so... But we got flies. And I never heard the end of it. I was like, what do you expect me to do? I can't do any... You're supposed to do what you were supposed to do. Well, then I'm gonna go set the dishes on fire. Because that'll kill the flies.
I'm betting that wasn't seen as an acceptable answer either.
Nope. Never is.
No.
That's one of those things. I have actually dated a number of women where it's like, we get along so well as friends. Maybe we should date. And it's this was
No.
a mistake. Never date a friend. Well, and say that because, alright, I have never actually asked a woman out in my life. The majority of them asked, well, actually, Angel is the first woman I ever asked out.
Okay.
Every other woman I've ever dated has asked me out because I've never really been in that big of a hurry to date. It was never an issue for me. I figured, that would happen on its own eventually. But, so every woman I've ever dated has asked me out. When I started talking to Angel, because originally it started out with us talking online, having met.
Right.
I was immediately like, I have a huge crush on her. This is going to go badly somehow. Things are going to go horribly wrong. And I had convinced myself, no, you won't do anything. You won't tell her you have a crush on her. You'll just do this. You've been wrong every time before. Why would you think you'd be right now? And then some part of the back of my mind was, well, you've just waited for girls to ask you out every other time. What if you asked them out? It's just, I can't find a flaw in this argument, but I'm sure it's all of it.
Okay.
No. The funny part was I kept it up for so long that, it's one of those things of, I believe love grows.
Mm-hmm.
There's not automatic, love. That is probably hormonal.
Yeah.
But, so after having talked to her for 3 months, it was like, yep, I'm in love with her. Now I'm gonna have to tell her I love her out of the blue, and I'm gonna sound like a crazy person. Because I'm not good at holding... Hi, we meet again.
Uh-huh. I'm trying to find the exit.
I'm not good at, hiding my my feelings at all. So I'm just gonna say this out of the blue, and we'll see how this goes. And the funny part was her initial response was, "You're lying." And I was not expecting that to be her initial response at all. It was kind of a, how do I handle this situation? Brain? Little help?
No.
Like, But, yeah, because I was like, "You're lying." I'm like, okay. No, I'm not. Because she considers herself horribly unattractive and undateable. Because, when you're not a fashion model, you're basically treated like, crap.
Mm-hmm.
So she, is just like, no one would date me. You're lying. Why do you want to lie to me? Do you want to hurt my feelings? And it then basically came down to 3 months, or the next 3 months of me having to convince her I wasn't lying. Then we started actually going out. It was the weirdest, courtship I've ever had, or I've ever been a part of.
It sure sounds like it.
Yeah, and she'll still occasionally just look at me and go, "Why the fuck are you dating me?" Because I've dated crazy bitches.
I don't think that's a good reason. I mean, it may be truthful, but it's not a good reason to tell her.
Nah, it's not. That's never a good thing to tell your girlfriend, ever. Well, though I will point out to her that she is, in fact, a crazy bitch. Frequently, actually, I point that out to her. She's perfectly fine with that. She knows it's the truth. So, it's not ever really an issue. I have been wandering through the same cave for fucking hours. I'm just gonna pick... Alright, what direction is it? It is that way. Alright, I'm just gonna start mining up.
Well, I'm on my way out now.
Oh.
Now that I found the right waypoint to head to.
Hey, look at that.
Cheater.
Yep. Well, yeah, that's just an amusing story that one day we will look back on. I kept trying to tell her, it's like, love, I'm pretty much broken in the head right now. So the fact that you can put up with me really says that we're probably meant to be. All right. Oh, yes. I actually made dual hill steps. I need to finish the house a bit.
Probably.
But we actually should probably call it since it's 2:30.
Well, yes, but I didn't want to be stuck in the cave.
No, me neither. Me neither.
That kind of sucks. But I ended up with 7 emeralds down there.
Nice. I have 2 and 4 diamonds. Do we have a good loot chest?
Well, we've got this double chest over here that has crap in it.
Crap is like good loot.
Alright. I also picked up a hell of a lot more lapis that we probably will never, ever need.
Yeah.
For anything.
I had 47 iron on me.
See,
the funny part is... I've been surviving on berries this whole time.
So have I.
Yeah,
I didn't
still
take
got,
any of the cooked food with me.
Yeah, I've still got 23 berries.
Let's see. Okay, so I think we should wait for the sun to go down, sleep here to set our spawn point.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can call it after that.
Sounds like a good plan. There, put down some roof.
A little bit low, isn't it?
Well, I figured
also, there's a hole in the wall over here.
Well, that's because there's a way down from there.
But, okay.
Do we want only one door? Because we can do something about that. Alright. There.
Fixed.
Well, fair enough. Did we want to make an actual good door somewhere eventually?
No.
Alright, so we're just gonna live... nowhere? I mean, how do we get out of the house, is what I'm getting at.
Why would we get out of the house?
Good point. We have dogs, and we got everything
We
need.
got spider legs in the chest.
You need a bed.
This is my bed.
Oh, mine's over there. I forgot where I put my bed.
This is my bed. I built it myself.
Yeah. Alright. Spider legs. Charcoal. Cat food. Angst. Argentina. What the hell was I looking for? Ah, yes. Cook some spider legs.
Sir, this is how we get out of the house.
That works. Getting back in will be the trick, though.
Well, then you better be really sure when you leave.
Yeah. Make sure you have everything you need. There's no way back in. No way out. No way in. No way out. Can we sleep yet? Yes, we can.
Good.
Hooray! Sleep. Yeah. All right. So I think that's good for this session, so I'm going to call it.